This is Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. Make the time to subscribe. Now let's pull back those sheets.
Can we talk about the relationships? Can we talk it over, see how we can build? Only you and I know that's the way it goes. In this big old bed, they'll talk it over, so talk it over. Can we talk it over? We can talk it over. Can we talk it over in bed? Talk it over. Can we talk it over? Can we talk it over? Oh, in bed.
Yeah, it's your man KR from Bed-Stuy, and this is Talk It Over. And as you know, Talk It Over is the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. And I am blessed to have my amazing co-host, one of my amazing co-hosts, right in this big old bed with me. So we're gonna be on and popping in a minute, son. Trish, what's good with you?
Hey y'all, hey. Hi.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm so good to see you.
See, that's how it happens.
See, this is how it starts.
That's
right?
how the baby happens. That's how the baby maker come in. You gotta stop playing with OG.
Listen, I ain't playing. I don't want the problems. I don't.
You don't?
I don't want the problems.
No, you ain't gonna get no problems.
Carmen San Diego is in the building.
Finally, because usually Trish is everywhere in the atmosphere.
Yes.
But she's right here at this location.
I'm in the city
Right?
this week.
Don't tell everybody. I don't want people to know where I live.
I didn't say specifically where. I just
Bruce is saying what big up.
big up.
Yes.
Yeah. So where do you be?
Listen, I'm everywhere. I've been in St. Louis. I've been in Atlanta. I've been in DC. And this is all in the last maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
Every time we turn around, I'm someplace else, except for last week.
Last week
I was home.
She was actually in her big old bed.
No, I was in emergency.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your son.
Yeah.
How's your son doing?
Yo, he's good. He fractured his foot.
Wow.
On the oven.
Wow.
So
wow.
yeah, so we were taping last week. I don't know if any of y'all heard, but we were taping, and in the middle of taping, he's like, "Ma!" I run downstairs, and he's just rolling around on the floor holding his foot. So we had to dip out and fracture his foot, but he'll be all right.
You know what?
He'll be fine.
Even more reasons not to have kids because they cost a lot of money.
Yes.
You gotta have.
Listen, you can sit down, and next thing you know, they doing something they ain't got no business doing.
Yes.
I don't need them problems. We don't need a problem.
Absolutely, I'm with you. So look, can we? I want to announce who we got here, and then we're gonna jump in with. Let's see, what are we gonna do first? The feel good story. Maya's gonna bring in the feel good story, and then we're gonna jump in on the hot topic.
Let's do it.
But before that, I want to welcome our first timers. We have brother Bruce Miller in the building, and Bruce is a singer, songwriter, and now moving into another part of his career path and journey, and that's a film producer.
Nice.
He's also the manager of a very famous celebrity. And if he wants to mention her name, he can when he gets up to bat. But I'll just say this. When you find out who his famous client is, don't be asking him for nothing. Okay? Look, the only person who get to ask him for something
is me.
Yeah, is Nas. Nas get to ask him for stuff. And I ain't gonna ask him for nothing. But Bruce, when you get a chance, can I get some tickets?
That's probably about the only thing I'll be able to help you out with anyway.
So Bruce, introduce yourself, tell our guest about you, and welcome to the show.
But thank you for having me. I'm having a good time. It's a good group. Bruce Miller. I am actually, I'm not, well, I guess I can say I'm a singer, but songwriter, more or less, producer. Okay. And now I'm producing television and film. And the client that I work with, I don't particularly manage, but I do work very closely as far as in a group setting. She kind of manages herself at this point, is Mary J. Blige. And so we work very close to the group setting, just meaning that I can bring deals to the table. So it's like a manager, but it's not. I really don't have to take on the whole kind of responsibility. My actual job was, my title was, at the time, I was the head of business development, actually. So that was just seeking all ancillary incomes. You know what I mean? So anything outside of music that could make money. So any branding, any endorsement, any type of opportunities in that space, that would more or less be the the kind of things that I would look for or seek for her. And then they kind of I brought her to the agency that she's at now, and then they kind of threw, like, I wanted to produce, I wanted to get into TV and film and stuff like that. So when, you know, she started really coming up in film and things like that, then they kind of threw me into the role of like developing shows and TV shows, and I was already ready for the space. I got to kind of put myself in that space too. So, but, you know, that's what that was. So that's who I am.
Right on. Well, listen,
Sorry, that was long.
Yeah, no, there's no real time limit on it. So, well, once again, welcome to the show. Yeah, as you can see, everybody's fun and festive, and we keep it light. We dig in on the topics, and sometimes we dig in on each other, but in a fun, family oriented type way. Let's see. Now we have a young lady, Khadija. This is her first time out. Usually we ask our first timers to listen into the show to get a sense of the timing and rhythm, but we don't exclude our first timers from speaking, because sometimes the topic is so hot, right, Trish?
Yes.
That they can't help themselves.
And that's what we want, though.
Yeah, you see them raising their hand,
listen, like
jumping.
We see the facial expressions,
Yeah.
you know, all of that. So
Yeah.
definitely, come on in with it. If you got something to say it.
Yeah, got the Holy Ghost, the whole nine. So, Khadija, introduce yourself and how you got, who brought you in.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Khadija. It's so nice to be here. I love you guys' energy. I'm just sitting back and observing everyone right now. Yes. I promise I'm wilder than this. But I met everyone while I'm here because of Hassan. We have been collaborating and speaking with one another from, we met through the Les Brown Power Voice speaking program. Okay. And so if that doesn't give myself away, I'm a motivational speaker and master of everything I touch.
Oh, I love it. I know you are.
Listen, I need to talk to her privately. Exactly. Like, hey, girl, hey.
I heard motivation in my ears was like, hey, I need that right now.
So we have Sister Najami here with us. Sister.
Yes. Hello, good day, good evening, wherever you are. How are you? How is everyone? How you loving? How you loving today? I am Najami Lazama, aka Bushwoman, and I am a personal development awareness life coach. My brand is about bringing women and men together of color, preferably, so we can thrive and live our lives on purposefully. But it starts by reducing our dysfunctional relationships, starting with self.
That's what's up. I need some of that, right?
I need some of that too. Yeah.
And I decided to broadcast.
Yeah.
And I decided to do it in my bed, since this is about being in the bed. Hey, run nice and comfy in the bed.
I'm talking about
somebody would have told me this part, because I would have definitely been in my bed.
So look, so then Bruce, you'll come back. You'll come back on, and when you come back, be in your big old bed.
That's what I'm on.
I sure will.
Yeah.
I sure will. And I'm gonna have my sexy pajamas on.
I'm ready for it. Bring it on.
You better go ahead with yourself. Look, one of our senior veterans of the show, who actually came on as a guest, and now is one of our amazing guest co-hosts. And actually, she and I are going to be hosting another podcast for people who are 55 and older, the Ginkgo leaf. But you know how Batman has his Robin, and you know how Howard Stern has his Robin.
Yes,
I got my Robin. Robin Nestler in the building. Robin, what's good with you?
Hey everybody, Merry Christmas.
Same to you. I see you not
Very-
in your big old bed. You next to the big old bed.
I'm next. Yeah, once I'm one of those that gets right up and makes it, and I don't go back. It's just
Oh no.
that's how I start my day.
Mhm.
Yes.
Move on forward.
Yeah, Trisha said your mama raised you right.
Yeah.
It's like the military. It's just like the military. You want success? Make your bed right as you get out of it in the morning.
That's
Oh, it
true.
makes you feel better when you get home too.
Yep.
It does. See, my problem is I'm
Guys,
in the
it's
bed all
it is
day.
something about a made bed that makes a certain kind of way when you walk into your room.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, that's very true.
I feel like you walking in a 5-class hotel.
Oh, y'all know something.
Right.
Oh, Robin, your bed looked kind of ruffled. What was you doing last night?
It's not ruffled.
I'm just saying.
As neat as a pin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's right. And and your tucking is superb.
I know. I am very, I am anal. I am very perfection all the way.
Your tucking look like you almost could deal with me. Like,
Yeah, Bruce, you sound like you an expert over there. You like your tucking is tight.
He said the tucking.
I am. I'm about that make your bed life.
That's what's up. Wow. All right, let's keep it moving.
I'm always screaming at my kids, make your bed.
That's what's up, bro. That's a good parent right there. That's good parent.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
But come on, let's go.
I got it. Look, my mother would beat the brakes off of us if we ain't make our bed. So I'm with y'all on that. And I was in the military where I really mastered making up beds. So, and then when I was that fly guy from Bed-Stuy type of dude, I was jumping in and out of bed. You know what I mean? But I wasn't making up none of them. Okay, so we're gonna keep it moving with my sassy mouth. All right, Brother Hassan, to the break of dawn.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm Hassan. I am Hassan Booker. I am an author, serial entrepreneur, over 30 businesses, and I just coined this. I'm a trauma coach because I done been through some shit.
Wow.
Been through some it. I can help you with that because it's like my stuff is to the extreme, for real. So yeah, that was just a thought just now, but I'm happy to be here amongst you all, you great people. And I'm glad to see my man Bruce here, and I'm glad to see Khadija Toto. Yeah. I'm glad to see Najami.
Yes.
Glad to see all of you, Robin, Trisha. Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Chili, you still with us?
I'm here. I'm here.
Man, Chili, what's good, Chili?
I'm just doing my thing, sitting here in the background,
Yes.
It's been a
minute. Absorbing all the positive energy.
Yes, sir. We are always happy to have Brother Chili on board. Absolutely. Chili, tell us something about yourself.
Bus driver, pretty much know people / limo driver, and all around the country, tourism business, and and then some.
Yes.
Life coach.
Serious life coach. Like Chili is always dropping it, always got some beautiful knowledge and wisdom. And delivers it with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Although, look, I seen him one time when we was commuting, riding the bus together. I gave Chili a brand new pair of Beats by Dre. I ain't tell Chili that you ain't supposed to beat people with the headphones. Chili had to put the swizzle beats on somebody one time on the bus. But
you should tell the story of how y'all met. I was dying when I heard the story. I could not stop laughing.
Your pops is a wild dude. He's a sweetheart, but don't get him
Don't get him angry. Don't get on his bad
Next
side.
time I saw him, he had the $5 headphones. I said, bro, what happened to the Beats by Dre that I gave you? Yo, I had to beat somebody with him. And this was the early stages, so they were in hot demand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were. They were. I was so mad. It hurts to this day.
Yeah. Chili beat the dude with the Beats by Dre. I said, wow, son. Listen, this goes down. And look, last but most certainly not least.
Beats by Chili.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yeah, Actually, that might be a nice headphone or something. Beats by We're gonna work that out. Yes. Thank you for that one, Bruce. Last but most certainly not least, Chili baby daughter, Maya-Mae from around the way. Hey, Maya-Mae.
Hey everyone, how you guys? Try not to be
She
too loud.
She got
I got my
baby with her.
I know, it's my new lifestyle.
Yes.
I'm a mompreneur. Mompreneur? Mom? I can't pronounce that word. I had too much wine last night.
Momtrepreneur.
Yes,
Momtrepreneur.
exactly. Yes.
Mompreneur.
No, I'm an actress and now a newly mom. So I'm exploring that lifestyle right now, taking a little break. But I'm happy to be on this podcast with you guys. It's definitely a plus for me. Everyone froze.
That's awesome. Welcome. Yeah. We went to
we keep on. The beat don't stop.
The beat don't stop.
Yeah. We hit a
wait a
dead
minute.
zone. But
wait a minute.
So
May.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, May. You are Chili's daughter?
Yeah, that's my dad, my best friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
You looking good, brother.
How about that?
I use a lot of
good,
dye.
brother. Chili.
It's the dye.
Yeah, man. That's baby girl right there.
Nice.
Yep.
Say that again, Chili.
That is my best friend. Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That is a fact. I know that, and I truly believe that, and that's what's special about. I believe all of us are parents on here. I think maybe with the exception of don't be in no hurry, baby love. But I believe all the rest of us are parents. So with that said, Maya-Mae, do you have the feel good story of the day?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah, so actually I was sitting down and I was listening to the news, which I haven't done in a while. And this story came on about John. It's a artist. He had his pastor, and basically it was about JBJ Soul Foundation, where they opened up a homeless shelter in New Jersey. And the way that they treat these homeless individuals was so sweet. They actually don't refer to them as the homeless. They refer to them as their special guests. So, and then the setup was so nice. It was a beautiful home, and the beds were just really nice and clean. And it was just really nice, because when you think of a shelter, you don't think of it as a really secure, safe place. And then the fact that they call them guests, it was like them checking into a hotel. And the plus thing of it was they partnered with a restaurant where it's pay what you can. So, and then also everyone that checked in with the whole COVID situation, you get free clothing, a hot shower, fresh food. It was just a really, really nice setup. And I haven't seen something like that in a very long time. And the pastor is actually, he was a Chicago Bears NFL football player turned pastor. So that was also pretty nice.
Now, where is this at again, Maya-Mae?
It's in New Jersey.
You have the name?
Anywhere specific? Because I need to go there. I need all that. I need all that.
You well taken care of, sir.
Oh my gosh. It's the JBJ Soul Foundation, and it's called the Warman Center Service. And they also have a soul kitchen called the Red Bank. So that's the soul kitchen where you pay what you can.
That is wonderful. That truly is a feel-good story.
Mm-hmm.
And New York City has, and this is really sad, New York City has over 111,000 students who are homeless.
Wow.
Really sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
it hits, I was working in a school and some of the teachers told me, they said, Nas, make sure you have to be extra sensitive to the children, because some of the kids that are in this school are actually homeless. Mm-hmm. They're living in shelters. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes you won't always see them coming to school on a regular basis. That's the reason. And I tell you, I grew up, we didn't have everything we wanted, but we had everything we needed. Uh-huh. And the idea of being homeless never factored in when I was a kid. So, our parents really, really do an excellent job at that we were fed and we had a roof over our heads. So the
Mhm.
idea that many children, that many students don't have a place to live is really like, we really have to all become advocates.
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead, Maya.
go ahead, Maya.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, when it comes to kids, it's a high sensitive situation. Like, I don't like seeing or hearing kids being in any danger, any harm, or especially being homeless, you know. Adult, we could sometimes, you know, make your way, but a kid, that's really hard. So I'm for it. Let me know what I can do to donate or do anything.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Can I throw 2 cents in regarding that homeless? Within the past month or two, there has been a high influx of young men, 19, 20, 24. And I work in the shelter system as well. So a lot of young babies, men, young. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It is really, really disturbing. So a lot of them they don't have services. A lot of them finish high school or are in need of clothes. A lot of them come in there and they have no clothes.
Yeah.
So we try to offer donations from wherever we can, but these brothers are in need of clothes. And you know, when when this whole madness ends, hopefully we can have people come in as guests and speak and try to encourage and motivate.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's the system, like with the shelter. I just think it should be a little bit more safer and cleaner. Because, like I said, when you hear the idea of a shelter, you don't really think of it as secure. You hear so many stories of, you know, females getting raped or harassed, people getting their things stolen, and that's what I really like with the pastor. His shelter was actually a home. It was really comforting. It was secure. The beds were nice. The clothes were clean, and the meals. It was just really, really nice and touching. It really felt like a home and not like a shelter.
Wow. And thank you for sharing that. That's a great feel-good story.
I've been noticing a lot, you know, just one of the things that was really important for me, I think, coming out of like the whole homeless scenario is, you know, one, the children, right? Like May was saying, like it's very like it's so bothersome to me with the children, but then also like the sex trafficking. A lot of sex trafficking
Oh yeah.
derives from homelessness, comes from people just not being able to take care of the kids or take, you know, and kids, young women, and you know, getting caught up in, you know, in situations and you know, freaking being drugged and doped up to, you know, become prostitutes and even young boys. Another thing too that a lot of people don't realize is young boys are also being targeted too, where they're in these systems and they're being sold around the country to, you know, to older white men actually.
Wow.
And a lot of this derives from homelessness. So it's you know, it's homelessness and also and also like some of them being in like those group home settings and things like that. So it's a, you know, it's a very big topic.
That opens up a lot of advantage to be taken from these kids, and it's really, really sad. And you know, that's why I agree 100% what you guys are doing to try to, you know, get involved more and broadcast more what's going on. Because I think a lot of people don't even realize what's really out there, what's going on, and it's sad.
No.
You know?
Because it's like the news doesn't really talk about it much because it's all this political stuff. It kind of dampers what the real need is like, you know, children in need, people that need homes, and it's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of it gets swept under the rug.
One little fact.
I was just going to ask you to speak, not Robin. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say for the U.S., you know, alone, but worldwide,
Yeah.
you know, we talk about business and economy and everything. Human trafficking is the number one fastest growing business ever of all time.
Wow.
Of everything.
Wow.
Now talk about not talking about things.
Yeah, and it's happening under our noses. It's happening right under our noses.
This is in the U.S. And you know, I mean, I work in Africa. I work in Uganda, and I work with girls that are. I have an organization there, and they are trafficked, and they are, you know, most of them are in prostitution or going to be. You know, we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary in January, and
tell everybody the organization.
Oh, my organization is called Set Her Free.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
go. Yeah, I
Love
like that.
.org. So we work with young girls, and we get vulnerable, at-risk girls, but most of them are on the streets. But like Bruce, right?
Bruce, yeah.
As he was saying, is they it's so funny. People don't think past just what's in front of them, and so you know, like an example right now is COVID, and you know, I've got 3 little girls that are 13, 14, and they're pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Normally they are in school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Normally they are in school. You know, for all these years we've had them in school, but they, you know, because of COVID, we can't keep them at our centers. They're with their families. The families need money. You know, one thing leads to another, and nobody can see that. People's initial reaction is, well, aren't you teaching them in school not to have sex? And I'm thinking, people, stop for 1 second before you speak and think of the deeper problem, the deeper issue. If
Yeah.
I'm a mom with 6 little kids and I need money because I can't feed my babies, then I got to send my little kids out there to sell whatever it takes. And when that
Whatever
little
you
kid's out there and is earning a quarter, but she knows she can earn $1, if all these girls are selling it, you know, and they need love, and they look, you know, everybody's looking for something. So it's such, and so, you know, with COVID, I mean, it's unfortunately we're feeling and seeing, this is going to be worldwide, unfortunately, especially in underdeveloped countries, is this millions of girls are not going to be returning to school this coming year once COVID is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
And
it.
that just sets everything back.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
I have a really
Yeah,
good
go ahead.
friend in Buffalo where I live who runs Project Mona's House, which does the same thing as your organization as well, and you know, sit down and talk about, you know, sex trafficking, and it infiltrates so many different areas and avenues. It's not just sex trafficking as you think, but even locally homegrown, these girls are being taken and being put into the sex industry, the porn industry. You know,
You're right. It's not just homeless.
Yeah, you know, and because a lot of times, you know, people aren't verifying information, you don't realize the girls that you're watching or seeing, or people in these industries may not always be of age. They're being forced, coerced, you know, even if they're not being forced, they're being coerced. So definitely, you know, these are things that we should definitely begin to highlight, you know.
The next 5 years, I can just imagine how many kids and children are going to suffer stuff from out of COVID, you know, because people are very desperate. People are desperate. People have also given up. The internet is also, I blame the internet for for a lot of the sexual stuff. I mean, there's so many sites right now. There's like Facebook sites where girls can just get on and twerk. This is crazy. Good girls in the bathroom. They're just twerking it, and this is what's going on. This is the feed that we're getting now from society. It's really sad.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, yeah, that's crazy.
You know what?
Brother Hassan,
I really don't. It's like nothing's new under the sun. All these things that we see now we able to view because of technology, but everything already existed. There already was like an abundance of prostitution, child pornography, and everything. I mean, I saw it myself growing up. I mean, I know kids that I went to school with, and some of them were like prostitutes and being sold. And you know, I've seen mothers that I've known selling their own daughters during the crack era, you know, during the heroin era. You know, there were like a lot of girls out there that there were like films being made of these little children having sex. So it's like we're just getting a different view of it, but it's always been there. We're just seeing it live and in living color now, and the visual is penetrating us different from the print. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We're
Yeah.
connected to it.
Yes.
So it's not. So it's no longer out there. It's in here, right? It's literally right amongst us. And a lot of the sex trafficking actually takes place in suburbia, in middle America.
I was going to say, I was approached in college.
Yeah.
I was approached in college.
Like,
and to, you know, take your photos, and we want you in this, and you know, and you reach a low self-esteem girl.
Yeah.
And you've got her. And I was just to add, you know, and I believe, like what Chili was saying, I blame the internet and technology on a lot of things, because unfortunately, people are especially girls, but young people, they are they're looking for that to build their self-esteem, to build their confidence. And that's not where
they have nowhere to go.
Right. You know, that is not where you get if you got to put yourself out there to make yourself feel like you're beautiful, there's a bigger problem there.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what's there. What is that going to do to this next generation of people?
Yeah, the next generation. It's really sad. You know, there was more family values, sitting down to dinner. Little things like that is like lost nowadays. I mean, people don't even sit.
Well, you have, because now you have individuals, if you have both parents, they both have to work, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, not only do both parents have to work, but they both have to have two jobs, right? So that lends to part of it. But we're gonna move along, because this is but this is what Talk It Over is really all about, right? It's just not dating and relationships, but can we talk it over? Because if we can talk it over and share a bed together, then we can openly talk about a wide variety of topics and conversations. Right. But that was the other reason that, you know, again, when we were putting this particular podcast together, we didn't want to refuse anybody coming on, because we're all saying the same thing about the same thing. And that's how it happens, right? It becomes a movement. The movement starts small, right? It starts intimate, and it starts with concerned citizens, right?
Right.
This is your man K.I. from Bed-Stuy, and so this will conclude the first part of our podcast. Our feel-good story was so real, and we couldn't pretend that the elephant wasn't in the room. The topic of homelessness is a real serious one, and so although Talk It Over is basically focuses on dating and relationships, we don't restrict what we talk it over about. Right. And so we wanted to be able to give the topic of homelessness its full breath. But stay tuned next week where you will hear the continuation, or actually the beginning of the topic, which is, would you date someone who is married or in a committed relationship? We thank all of our listeners. We thank you for participating. I especially want to thank my guest co-host. And it's your man K.I. from Bed-Stuy. Slow motion for me. See you next week. Gia.
Do you ever ask yourself, how do I get licensed in another state to become a social worker? Do you ever ask yourself, where can I get information on how to deal with my loss or other problems? Welcome to Social Work Infomaniacs, where you can get all the information that you need, whether it's information how to deal with your trauma, or even parenting information, or if you're a social work student and you just want information for yourself to be a better clinician, come to Social Work Infomaniacs, a YouTube channel that's starting up. For more information, you can always follow at social_work_infomaniacs for more information out there of future videos. Warning. Social Work Infomaniacs does not replace the need of a real therapist. It is highly recommended to seek a professional for those highly at risk.
You've been listening to Talk It Over, the only dating relationship podcast that begins in bed. We hope you got what you needed. Make sure you subscribe. Holla at you next week.